So I'm David Parker, Global Vice President of SAP for the Internet of Things. Well, one of the biggest challenges is always around data privacy, data security. And as we look at the world of the Internet of Things, we have to take that into context for the average consumer. So whichever industry we look at, whether it's automotive, whether it's insurance, healthcare, manufacturing, we're dealing with consumer data. So one of the first challenges is we have to secure that data, and we have to make them feel comfortable. The second challenge is for companies is how do they connect, and what's the cost of that connection? Many of them look at this as an inhibitor for them to actually even consider IoT today, but they recognize that if they don't start, they're going to be behind the curve and miss out on new opportunities that their competitors are actually making value from today. Well, all standards are very important, for sure. When you look at the different protocols that you can use for connection, you look at the different devices that are available today at lower cost, we as vendors create a platform, and with that platform we have to conform to standards for interoperability. I mentioned in my keynote address that it's not one vendor that will have an end-to-end solution. It will be a composite of different vendors collaborating and co-innovating. From that perspective, you have to have standards that you comply with. So the Industrial Internet Consortium is one group that helps provide standards. Ourselves, SAP, and many other vendors are actually part of that group with the sole aim of making it easier for consumers, customers to adopt the Internet of Things so they can actually get value more quickly on a common platform. So the industrial internet is fascinating for me. When I look at the manufacturing industry as a whole, they have to find new ways on how they can generate revenue, new ways on how they can embrace the consumer. You look at things like a washing machine as an example that will be provided by a Siemens or a Zanussi or any of those major manufacturers. They have to understand what the use of that equipment is in the consumer home. The only way they can do that is to put sensors on those machines, capturing that data in real time and providing a higher level of uptime of the machine for the end consumer. Now, in terms of other industries, we see automotive as a clear one for connected car. If you look at Tesla as an example, they just launched new applications for their connected car. Again, allowing them to have a better revenue stream, but allowing the customer to have more choice on how they can automatically park their car. Healthcare is another one, under life sciences. How can I take medication and be informed of when to take the medication by a device of some description? And that information, again, if I opt in for it, can be shared with medical practitioners. If we then move on to sport, these are another prominent areas where we see companies putting sensors on clothing, on shoes, trainers of that sort, that can actually provide information to the user of that equipment and clothing to provide them with a more optimal training regime. So there's many industries out there. Those are the ones that I see as emerging in 2016. The others are kind of somewhat cemented in their thought process and foundations of how they start with IoT. But there are many, many others. You know, SAP operates in 24 industries, and out of that there's at least 15 of them that are embracing IoT.